Hey everyone, this is Alex from ninjateacher.com, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the best time to apply for jobs in 2016. And by the end of this video you'll know exactly when you need to apply to get a job when you want a job in 2016, bearing in mind that it takes some time and there's a process to it, and that there are actually times that there aren't jobs available during the year, so that you can get one of these awesome jobs teaching abroad, making $2,000 a month with free accommodation and housing. And it's a really cool opportunity that maybe you don't want to miss out on because you don't know the exact time to apply. And so I'm going to give you a breakdown of exactly when this is so that you can get started. It's been bothering me a little bit because the whole idea of teaching English in Korea here in Seoul, Korea, in Thailand, I'm out here in beautiful Hanoi, Vietnam. So I taught English myself in South Korea before I started my recruitment agency. And I can still remember when I was about to start applying and I didn't know anything about the process, and I literally had no idea where to start and when to apply specifically. Now, I get a lot of people who do apply for jobs and who want to get started finding a job, and they kind of just send their application in and don't know anything about it. They don't have a plan, and they just apply at a random time and hope something will come up. Now, the problem with that is a lot of the times people will apply too late. They will apply at the wrong time of year, and overall it's just gonna stop your chances, like basically make it impossible to find a job if you don't know the correct times and the correct time frame to apply for jobs. And there isn't a lot of information out there about this. I have a guide that kind of shows you how to find a job within 3 months, and I cover that a bit in that guide. But basically in this video I want to tell you when you should apply if you want to get a job for next year. So that's what happens a lot, is I see people applying at the wrong time of year and then they don't know why they're not getting any job offers. And they also don't leave enough time. That's what I see many people do. They just apply and they want a job at a certain time, and they don't factor in how long it takes to get everything together and basically relocate to a completely new, different, strange country. Exciting, of course, like a really fun thing, but it takes time to do that. Okay, so then let me break down when is a good time to apply. Well, there are a couple of things that you should bear in mind. The first is that there are hiring seasons for jobs in South Korea. So typically jobs will start around March and August in any given year, and that's related to the school year. Now, even if it's private academies, they kind of follow the same time frame as public schools. So even with private academies, you want to go ahead and apply, during these times, because that's when the most jobs are going to be. So that's the first thing, the start date of the position, March and August. And there are quite a few positions in January and February too. Maybe because it's the beginning of the normal year, not the Chinese, Asian New Year, but it's still the beginning of the year, and a lot of schools want to get a new teacher at the beginning of the year. So there are quite a lot of positions then leading up to that March start date for students. Okay, so that's when the majority of the jobs are going to be. And if you apply outside of those times, it's going to be a lot harder to find something. There are jobs year-round because sometimes schools need to replace a teacher or get a new teacher for someone that's left. So you can, and there's no harm in trying, but if you want to maximize your chances, go for jobs that start in these periods. So what does that mean in terms of when you should put in an application with recruiters? Well, what you should do is go ahead and apply around 3 months before that period. Now, I would say the biggest interview signing contract period is about 1 to 3 months before. So by getting in an application about 3 months before, you'll have time to do interviews with different schools, get job offers sent to you from your recruiter, have some options to compare with, and you're not rushing to sign a contract because you need to do it quickly to get that position. So basically the furthest in advance that you can do it, the better. So I would say about 3 months before. Now, what else do you need to consider? Well, you do need to have your documents ready for when you sign a contract and fly out to South Korea. So as soon as you start doing interviews, the period after that is very fast of signing the contract and sending your documents to get your visa sorted. So basically, as soon as you apply and start doing interviews, you actually want to have your documents ready by then. And a lot of people don't factor the time that it takes to get these documents in. So they apply too late for that, and then schools are wanting to interview, but they don't have all their documents ready. So I recommend actually having your documents in hand when you apply to a recruiter. You'll get a much better response. They'll be happier to work with you because they can see you're ready to go and you're serious. And so that really helps if you have them ready, or at least have them in the process so you'll get them quite soon after applying to recruiters in this 1 to 3 month period beforehand. So the documents typically take a couple of months to collect and get processed. So these documents are your official apostilled criminal background check. Apostilled means it's certified at the highest level in your country. As well as that, you need a certified copy of your degree, which also needs to be apostilled. Now, the apostilled process is quite a complicated, long process. Not too bad if you get a company to do it for you. May take a few weeks, and the background check can take a long time. So I recommend, especially if you're in the US where that process can be quite slow, using a channeler is a really good option. So a channeler speeds up the process, because sometimes it can even take a few months to get that FBI background check back from the government. So use a channeler and you can get it in a couple of weeks then, which is much better. But either way, you want to apply for these documents at least a good amount of time before the position start, before you even put in your application. So typically applying 4 to 5 months, even 6 months in advance of your starting date for these documents is a great idea. Now, you don't want to apply too far in advance for the background check because it's only valid for 6 months, and that needs to be ready exactly, it has to be valid when you start your job. So bear that in mind, not too far in advance, but yeah, I would say apply for that 4 months before, around there. And then hopefully you'll have those ready to apply with your recruiter about 3 months before your job. Okay, I hope that all makes sense. So for example, if you're starting in March or wanting to start in March, then you should apply to your recruiter in around December. And if you want to get your documents ready so that you have them when you apply to the recruiter, you should apply a month or 2 before that for your documents. If it's not ready in time, that can cause some serious problems, so try get those documents done as quickly as possible. All right, so that's a kind of general time frame. I hope that's useful. You do have to be a little bit planned. You have to be organized and plan in advance. And if you do that, then you'll maximize your chances of finding a great job and get more options, not be stressed, because it can be a stressful period. But once you've signed that contract, got your visa processed, then you can fly over to Korea and start your teaching experience there. So I hope that's useful. Please go ahead and apply with us if you're interested in finding a teaching job. We'll help you out with that. Head over to ninjateacher.com. And of course, subscribe if you want more videos about teaching English abroad. All right, I'll speak to you very soon. Peace.